Let me take you to this last one. Let me take this last one, and I'm going to close out fairly quick here. The next generation, number 3. Next generation needs convictions and values to live by. Now listen to me. They need wisdom and understanding. They need character as a moral compass. And they need convictions and values to live by. Now listen, let me put it to you this way. Convictions are the values you live by, or something you won't give up even for peer pressure. Character is being right. But listen to me. Conviction is having the guts to choose right. And there are always hard choices that are going to have to be made. You know that. So what we need to do is we need to teach we need to understand and teach our team that decisions create descendants. Did you hear me? Decisions create descendants. Every time, some of you that know the scripture, I'll give you a little scriptural thing here. Every time I have ever accommodated Hagar, the flesh, I have created an Ishmael, a sin. And listen to me. Don't look around the room and try to blame someone else for everything that's going on in your life, because you and I are living today in the decisions we made yesterday. See, 1 Corinthians, the 16th chapter says it this way. Hold tight to your convictions, or the values you live by, and give it all you've got. See, we have to make up our mind that we're going to do what God says and live by what He says, whether it's easy or not. There's too many people that are in this thing only if God is going to give them a new car or a new thing or a new this or a new blessing. Honey, you've got to decide, come hell or high water, we're serving God. See, that was something that was instilled into me as a young boy. My father preached and taught, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Hold tight to your convictions. Give it all you've got. See, Daniel, the first chapter, the 8th verse says it this way. Daniel made up his mind not to harm himself by eating the king's rich food and drinking the king's wine. Now, what you have to understand was Daniel was probably a teenager when he was taken captive into Babylon. But he did not give up his belief system just because he was in a foreign land or ungodly people were in control. That's conviction. The truth of it is, honey, the truth of it is, mama, the truth of it is, daddy, the truth of it is, adult, that you have kids looking at you. The truth is that people without biblical convictions to follow will follow the 4 main values of the world. Let me give them to you very quickly. The first value of the world is pleasure. What is that, Pastor? I want to feel good. Now, I may be morally wrong. It may be illegal. It may be potentially dangerous to my body. I don't care. I just want to feel good. Now, is it wrong to feel good, Pastor? No, not by any shape or way of the imagination. But not if it doesn't take you away from your relationship with Jesus. But the value of the world is, number 1, pleasure. The value of the world, number 2, possessions. I want to have a lot of stuff. Good stuff. Bad stuff. Stuff that takes me away from my relationship with Jesus. I don't care. I just want to have stuff. Is it wrong to want stuff? Of course not. If it doesn't take you away from your relationship with Jesus. Pleasure, possessions. Let me give you the third value system of the world. Prestige. I want other people to envy me. I want them jealous of me and the great things that are in my life. Whether it's stuff that's killing me inside or what. I want them to want my life. Let me give you this last one, no. Power. I want to be in control. I don't want to bow to anyone. I want to be number 1. I want everyone to look up the ladder at me, even if that means I have to do wrong or step on people to get there. See, Titus says this. He says, encourage young men to be wise. In every way, be an example of doing good deeds. Notice it says, be an example of doing good deeds. Because the truth is, convictions are more caught than taught. And it's about doing what God says and wants. Listen to me, regardless. Now let me ask you this. Are you sharing wisdom and knowledge with the next generation? Are you teaching character to the next generation? Are you modeling convictions to the next generation? Because you're showing someone what a real relationship with Jesus is all about. Let me give you just a couple more scriptures, and I promise I'm going to close. Hebrews, the 2nd chapter, the 3rd verse says this. Listen to this. How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? Now, the word neglect there in that scripture means to be careless with, or to make light of, or to be negligent of, and not regard. Now, I know this is kind of a little bit harder of a sermon and a little bit harder of a day, but listen to me. Let's be honest. There's a lot of people who are neglecting their salvation and their eternal destiny. I know I'm preaching to the choir this morning because you're here, but there's a lot of people that had chose to stay home today because of this, that, the other, or something. They just decided to blow God off. And the problem with that is you're being careless, sir. You're being careless, madam, with this thing called eternity. You're making light of a very serious matter, heaven or hell. You're neglecting the disciplines of being a real Christian. And let me tell you, listen to me close. I know we got to pray for the babies, but you got to listen to me now because I've got to get this to you. This is where the rubber meets the road. That's a real problem for you. If you neglect your relationship with Jesus Christ, that is a problem for you, sir. That is a problem, madam. But listen to your pastor. Listen to your pastor. Listen to me. It's an even bigger problem for the ones that you're coaching. It would be one thing for you to wake up one day in eternity and find that this thing called a real relationship with Jesus didn't mean anything to you. What will it be like to look at the next generation that you were coaching that was going to spend eternity without God? See, that's a problem for you. But what will it do? What will happen to those that you've been coaching that are following your example? Listen to me. I'm not here to pack your bags for a guilt trip. Seriously. I am not here to pack your bags for a guilt trip, but as the pastor, I want to call you, and I want to call me. I want to call our pastors. I want to call our eldership. I want to call our deacons and leadership. I want to call our teachers and our nursery workers. I want to call every person that calls Bethesda Worship Center their home to a new level, a new standard of respect for God and a respect for His things, a respect for what this thing is called, a relationship with the Father. See, I want us to show that Jesus is real. I want us to show that a real relationship with Him is important. I want us to show that real life is more than just stuff. It's about knowing and serving Jesus with everything I've got. I want to live the legacy.